Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored and excited to be connecting with you this Monday as we lean into powerful, candid, real conversations with authors that have become bestsellers. They're experts and influencers and leaders that are bringing their messages forward powerfully through best-selling books. So I'm very excited for our amazing guest today who's going to pull back the curtain and share with us what the journey is like. And in fact, the book project that she recently led was a collaborative project where she had leaders and influencers, as well as herself was a beautiful author in this book. And so she led this powerful project forward. So not only do we get to hear her perspective and wisdom and insight on what it's like to be a #1 international best-selling author, but also a leader of a collaborative project where she's helped others bring their voices to and bring them forward along with hers. So I'm really excited for the conversation. I know you're going to get great value out of our time together today, but I want to make sure that you choose to be fully present so you don't miss anything that's of value and of service to you. So to do that, let's take a deep breath. In through the nose, all the way to your toes, and then out through your mouth, like through a straw. Beautiful. Take another deep breath. Beautiful. This helps us become present, slow down a little bit, quiet ourselves so that we can hear. We can stop doing and get to be open to receive. I encourage you to have a notepad ready and a writing utensil, a pen, a pencil, whatever you like to write with, so that you can capture those insights and aha moments as we share with you. Because you just never know that one tip, that one thought, that new way of looking at things can open up so much for each of us and help us bring our messages forward. Because if you have that calling on your heart, you're being called to bring your message forward, there's an urgency to doing it. It means if you feel that pull that it's needed now. So I want you to really listen today for ways to bring your message forward, tips on how to do that. And write them down. Sometimes it can be an aha moment inside yourself because you slowed down a little bit to listen and hear. Be open to all of that and write it down. It's so easy in the moment to say, oh, that's brilliant, I'm going to do that. And then we get distracted and forget. So I want you to take a moment and write them down throughout our time together today. And as we're breathing and we're becoming centered, I want you to think about what is it that you need today and to encourage you, to help you bring your message forward. What do you need that you're willing to receive? Just take a moment and write that down. Keep it top of mind. So in our conversation today, you're able to receive support in that. You're able to hear and listen with finely tuned, open, beautiful ears to hear what will serve you and support you in bringing your message forward, meeting you exactly where you're at. Beautiful. Let's take another breath. Back into the room, eyes open, fully present. Take a moment to write down any insights or thoughts that are coming to you so we can include that in our conversation. You can have that present as you're listening and leaning in. This time is for you. Be open, ready to receive, and I am just thrilled and excited to introduce our amazing guest, Aeriol Ascher. She is a #1 international best-selling author multiple times over, a holistic educator and empowerment leader, producer and host of the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul podcast, the proud recipient of 2, not just 1, but 2 2020 Communicator Awards of Distinction from the Academy of Interactive Visual Arts. She's the founder of the Body, Mind, Soul TV and Media Network. Her mission is to raise the consciousness of the planet. Let's lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Aeriol Ascher to the show. Welcome.
Woohoo! Hi, Rebecca. Wow, what an introduction. When I listened to that, I'm like, who is she talking about? And then I'm like, oh, wow, I did that.
That's you. I love it.
Wow, it is.
It is. I think we forget sometimes who we are and what we've done. And I think we should always introduce ourselves that way, or be introduced so we can remember how amazing we are, because you are, and your mission and all that you're looking to bring forward to the world and all that you are bringing forward is just such a gift. And I celebrate that, and I'm excited to have you spend some time with us today. And I wanted to start with your mission of raising the consciousness of the planet. Why is that personally important to you?
I don't know. That has really been coming from me. I've always been interested in consciousness and the healing arts and embodying the highest mission of the soul. I want to put it that way. Yeah. Very young, I started on this mission to sort of raise consciousness and be the best version of oneself. I feel like I've been bringing that forward pretty much my whole adult life as an entrepreneur.
I love that. I love that highest mission of the soul. That was really powerful, and the best version of ourselves, and that has been on your heart and your calling for so long, and that you continue to lean in and answer the call and say yes, and that again is something to celebrate and honor. And one of the ways that you have stepped into that mission and you said yes was you brought this powerful book forward, this collaborative anthology with multiple authors and leaders and experts that you were called to bring forward. Do you mind sharing a little bit of the full title of the book and why it was important to bring it forward?
Yeah. The book is called Empowered Self-Care: Healing Body, Mind, and Soul for a Better World. And Rebecca, I used to have a physical healing center, and it's so weird that I no longer have a physical location. I don't have a healing center, but this book sort of became my healing center, and I consolidated everything. And I got to have an even bigger sphere of authors who stepped forward as masters who were showing people this different perspective of self-care for the body, mind, and soul to raise the consciousness, as we say. So it was super exciting project for me. I mean, yeah, like I said at the top, I can't even believe I did it.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much for answering that call. And I love that, how that became this virtual online center that you were able, or a virtual center you were able to bring to the world, a healing space for so many. That is just so powerful. And I want to give just a couple of statistics here to give perspective so that people listening know how powerful the release of this book was and the impact that it had. It became a #1 international bestseller, which is that highest ribbon level that you can get on Amazon. So #1 international bestseller, 5 countries, 56 categories, huge accomplishment. And 21 of them, it was ranked #1. That's just huge. Congratulations. What a powerful accomplishment. What a powerful reach. And how does it feel just to take a moment and soak that in again?
It's really amazing, Rebecca, and I've written those statistics down. You know, they're in my email, and I see them. But when you hear them, it's really something different. it's really amazing to have somebody say them back to me, because I think that I've gotten a little bit numb just putting the statistics down. It sounds amazing when you say it. So thank you for reflecting it back to me once again.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for you. It's so powerful. And to me, it's just such a testament to how needed this information is and how powerfully it was received on a global level. So I celebrate you saying yes, leaning in and being willing to bring it forward and being willing to lead leaders to be able to have that kind of impact influence. It's so exciting. And we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about some of what Aeriol has said, her clarity on her mission, her willingness to say yes, her willingness to bring that mission forward and bring people along the journey with her so that the impact could be so powerful and so global. And I think it's great to start thinking about what are some ways that you may be able to do that with your message, that you may be able to bring it forward, to multiply the impact, to really have it reach the world. And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Stimulating talk.
It gets those synapses in the brain firing really fast.
All the time. The #1 internet talk station where your opinion counts. VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had an opportunity to really think about what are some ways that you can bring your message forward, that it can have that global impact, reach the people that it's called to reach. And we were chatting a little bit behind the scenes, and I was, again, sharing my excitement and all the reach, the impact that Aeriol's book has had so far. And I always feel like it creates a ripple effect. So heart by heart, life by life, we get to touch people with our words and with our messages, and it has an impact like a pebble in a pond, and it'll ripple out, and those people touch other people's lives, and we get to be part of that. And I feel like her book had not just like a pebble in the pond, like it was a big boulder that went in and had a huge impact, created waves, not just ripples, as it went out into the world. And to me, that's just such a testament to your clarity of the vision, the message, what you were wanting this book to have and do and come forward and be. And I'd love for you just to talk about that a little bit, because I think that clarity creates such impact. So again, a little bit more of the vision and mission of your book so people can feel into it with you, and what it was like to have it received so powerfully.
Yeah, it was amazing, Rebecca. And when I had the vision of the book, I mean, I really literally had a vision. I've talked about it on other shows before of lights or consciousness coming together and illuminating a book. And that's how I kind of wanted to gather this mastery from these, their healing practitioners, spiritual teachers. We have mindset mastery coaches, success coaches, all about transformation. And together to raise the consciousness, we really wanted the reader, regardless of what their background is, to come away with this really expanded view of what self-care means. And I mean, it's super timely, right? Because during the pandemic and how we see how our own self-care affects those around us and our environment, it was just really, really important. And we also, each of the authors gave practical tips and generous resources in each one of the chapters to help everybody sort of reframe this expanded view of what self-care means. And so I think that we made a huge impact by putting this compilation out there.
And that what a powerful and generous approach to create a resource, an ongoing resource for people too. So as they're leaning in and getting this amazing wisdom, insight, and direction, that there's tools and resources to continue the journey for them to, with this expanded view, actually implement and apply things that can help them take things to another level. And I just think that's so generous of all of those who leaned in and said yes, and were giving so generously, and the opportunity people have to continue their growth, because we don't ever want to become stagnant. That's not healthy. We want to continue to grow and expand, and your book and the resources that are made available in it can just make such a huge difference for people, and it has that ongoing journey that can continue with them. And I just think that's so generous and powerful. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yes, well, it's not a book that I think that people will just want to sit down and buzz through the whole thing. I really see this as a manual for soulful living, and something that you can just flip through and get some wisdom and really change up what your daily self-care plan means to you.
Beautiful. And then go back and learn more too if you're doing a section.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, love it. Now, your cover is something that I know you love. I love it too. It's so powerful, so impactful. It's one of those, when people see it, it has an impact and people remember it. And I'd love for you to describe a little bit of the cover and why you designed it the way you did.
Well, the cover has two hands painted as the earth. Like, to me, that represents the earth consciousness, and the hands are forming a heart, and this sort of source light flare is coming through. It's on the background of, the starry sky, and I just love the imagery of the heart and the humanity coming together. And to me, it really illustrates this elevated consciousness and the collaboration. It's a very powerful image. It's a very powerful image. I'm so in love with it. I just love it. I don't know what more to say about it. I'm so in love with it. It really, and it continues to inspire me. It inspired me when we first put it forward, and literally it called the authors to it. I think it's so visceral, the imagery to me.
It is. It's very impactful. It's deep, and it I think it causes us to slow down a little bit and really look and lean in. It's a very powerful cover. I'm glad you're in love with it and you love it still, even after seeing it so many times.
I know. I can't move on from it. I got to tell you, it speaks to me. It's exactly what I wanted to put forward, and I feel like, Rebecca, it's exactly what's inside.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm just thinking as I'm reflecting on what you're sharing for our listeners, those of you who are at that place where you're thinking about your cover, that you want to be in love with it. You want it to inspire you to match the content that's in the book, to really bring that message forward in a way that people can see it visually. So it's all in alignment with the content and the information. Any tips that you have for our authors today around cover design?
I spent a lot of time in meditation and a lot of time looking at, I would go on stock photo. I chose the hands, and the team did the rest, and they did a brilliant job. But I found the imagery of the hands just by searching under some consciousness words, some of the words that are powerful and strong to me, until all of a sudden this image popped up, and I loved it. Being a former body worker, the hands. We've got lots of practitioners, body workers, and otherwise in the book. So the healing aspect of having the hands, and I'm in love with it.
But that's a great tip to do searches like that under some of those keywords, because I think sometimes it's hard to capture in a visual way a feeling or an emotion or something that's important. So I love that you did some searches like that and then found that image, that concept that captured it. Beautiful.
Google searches and inner searches, internet and internet searches.
Love that, inside and out. But it comes from within.
Inside and out searches.
Love it. Love it. Beautiful. And speaking about favorite things and loving your cover, I know that there's a favorite part of the book that you just love to share, and you prepared a reading for us today. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to share that with our listeners.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, this is just a little excerpt from the foreword. And it is and this section is entitled "How to Use This Book in Your Own Daily Self-Care Practice." So this is how we intended the book. And I start this section by saying, of course, not every story is going to resonate with every person, but that's why having this beautiful collection of chapters is so exciting. When I sat down to organize the book, I began weaving the chapters together in what I thought was going to be three sections: body, mind, and soul. But as I caressed the chapters forward, I noticed them taking on a life and story of their own. I let them tell me what they wanted to bring forward, and soon the three sections began to reveal themselves. Part 1. Into the deep, loving the self whole. In the first section, we expand our definition of self-care and dive deeply into the body's innate wisdom, self-awareness, in order to eliminate anxiety and pain. We will learn to communicate with the body as these masterful practitioners share their chapters and their work. Then in part 2, focused intention, moving towards mastery. In this section, we examine mindset, beliefs, and how both conscious and unconscious thoughts about ourselves shape our experience and shape our reality. Part 3, informed guidance, trusting the self. This section is about tapping into and trusting that inner guidance to create our environment and inform a more balanced lifestyle. As you work your way through the book, here are three pieces of advice for embracing your personal, empowered self-care practice and enjoying fully embodied, fully expressed, and soulful living. The first is to take the book slowly. Let yourself reflect upon the stories and deeply process each chapter's energy. Try to absorb each chapter and follow up with the free gifts and offerings that each of the co-authors have given. Then journal in our companion book, the Empowered Self-Care Journal, if you like, or any journal of your choice. Write down your reflections on each chapter, each story, and each exercise, and see which ones really resonate with you. To further enrich your daily practice, you may want to incorporate the Empowered Self-Care Wisdom cards for divine inspiration, motivation, or reflection. And number 3, get support that suits you. Find yourself a coach or a mentor who works for you and who can help you fully embrace your power to reach your self-care goals. Each of the co-authors has generously offered free exercises, free downloads, and other resources for you. I highly recommend that you take advantage of their invitations to connect with them to see who resonates with you. And to further support the readers, I offer 5-week virtual book club discussions, and I'd love for you to get involved and have a self-care conversation at one of these live virtual book club events. So without further ado, I invite you to step into your own personal self-care journey, the journey into your own daily self-care practice. It's my hope that you will shift and expand your definition of what self-care means to you, and that you will awaken an awareness of your own divinity that drives you forward in your life with passion and purpose. To your success, Aeriol Ascher. So that's my favorite part, that forward in the book.
It's so beautiful. I can hear your passion, your love, your vision, your clarity, and such deep thought and care has gone into weaving every piece together. And the complementary pieces that you've woven into the book make it so powerful and interactive. And there's a journal and the wisdom deck, all these different resources and downloads and people they can interact with. There's so much that you have built around this to really help people in such a powerful way. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that reading.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And listeners, as I'm reflecting on her reading and sharing, I have two different thoughts on this. So one, that how important self-care is, and here's an opportunity to lean in and add this resource to your library, and we're going to let you know how to do that towards the end of the show and all the different resources that she has built and made available. Two, as an expert and as an author, what are some ways that you can thoughtfully, mindfully weave together your chapters, your content, your information, remembering the readers? That's something I thought was so powerful about what Aeriol shared. She was so clear on guiding and supporting the readers to get the most out of this powerful book that's been created. How are you supporting the readers in weaving your content together? Are you providing some additional resources, programs, things that people can add to the conversation, can add to your book, add to what you're providing them, the content, to continue the journey, to connect with you further, to go deeper, to get ongoing support? Are you remembering to weave that into what you're building and creating? It's really important because you want to think about, once they have it in their hands and they read the book, what do you want them to do with it? What are some of those next steps? And Aeriol, I just applaud how mindful and thoughtful you were in building all of that and keeping the reader so in heart and so in mind as you put it together. And then you added even more layers and levels to support them, creating a really rich, powerful, transformative package and opportunity for any reader that leans in to start the journey to open that book. You've given them so much. So again, thank you so much for sharing with us. I appreciate it. Listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I want you to reflect on all that Aeriol has shared, her tips, her thoughts, her advice, her experience, her beautiful reading, and what are some ways that you can apply some of that information to what you are looking to do. And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
The Internet's #1 talk station. #1 talk station. VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had some great ideas and insights and took some notes down to support you in bringing your message forward and remembering to include the reader in what you're designing and guiding them through the most powerful and best way to use your book and the resources you have available. Because when they lean in and they purchase your book or add it to their library, they are entrusting you as an expert speaking into their life. And sometimes they need the expert guidance on how to access your information most powerfully, what to do with it, what some of the steps are beyond the book that they can take. And I think it's so important that we remember to include that, because sometimes we get very caught up in one piece of it or content or message, and we forget to guide them along the way. And I just feel like Aeriol has done that so exquisitely and is such a great example of really holding the hand of the reader and guiding and empowering them on the best way to use this powerful book and beyond. And so again, Aeriol, I just am so grateful for you taking time with us today. And I wanted to touch on a couple of additional things because you were very deliberate in it being important to do a best-selling campaign. And because that's a choice, you don't have to. You can publish a book without that, but you chose to do that and felt that was important. And I'd love for you to share why that was important to you and a little bit of what it was like.
Well, the best-selling campaign was absolutely thrilling. I love that part. I think it's so fun to watch the statistics as you launch and everything. But, anybody, well, I don't know if anybody can, but you can put together a compilation. I've put together lots of ebooks and things and published them on my website, self-published myself. But without the best-selling campaign to have that sort of impact and credibility and just vast reach, you want to be able to get your work into the hands of as many people as possible, right? So, if you're thinking about writing, do it because it makes you an expert. But if you're thinking about writing also, you might want to think of going the extra step and doing a campaign like that because you want people to actually see the work that you've done.
Yeah.
There's my theory on that.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I do. I think it's so important. And so many resources and things are being published and shared these days. Sometimes it can be challenging to have people stop and notice and realize this amazing book is now available. And a best-selling campaign can just really do that marketing campaign. Plus, it's fun, exciting.
It's really fun. I think it's really fun. I love it.
But also it helps people know it's coming and be able to lean in so that the information can have the impact that it's called to make. So I love that you leaned in and said yes. And the powerful statistics you shared, I think, are such a testament to that, how needed it was, how powerful it was, how impactful for so many people. I mean, 21 number one best-selling categories is just huge, 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 huge accomplishment. So
yeah, we did do a good job.
You did. So congratulations again. And I'd love for you to share if there's any tip or advice that you have for any of our listeners out there that are working on their book, looking at bringing it forward to help them go from idea and someday I want to share this information to really seeing some of the path and ways to do that. Any tip or advice to help them bring it into reality?
Yes. Just if you feel that you want to do it, do it. Just get out of your own way. Because I can't think of anything more powerful for, in my case, my people are speakers and practitioners and coaches. But it's a great foundation to build their business upon, having a published book like this. It affords you credibility. It affords you... I have to tell you, it makes you believe in yourself. Like I have had my authors reflect back to me. Now they're published. It makes them believe in themselves. It's a transformative and therapeutic process, a clarification process, just going through the writing process and then pushing it out like that. I think that it's a great way, and I love these compilations where we get to team up together. It's a great way to lead into whatever business or practice you have going on. It's your foundation. It's a building block.
So powerful. I love this. So I love that. Do it. Bring it forward. So take the steps.
Do it. Yeah, that's my advice. Do it.
Powerful.
Do
and and the particular book that you put together, it's a compilation. We call them anthologies, where each person contributes a chapter. I'd love for you to share a little bit about that, because that might be a new concept for some of our listeners, what that is and how that can serve them.
Oh, I loved the compilation book. I loved bringing forward the book and leading. In my case, we had 25 beautiful authors putting their chapters in the books. I loved blending that, and like I said, it's like it is like a manual for soulful living. It is replacing my healing center. It is everything condensed into one resource. It's really beautiful. And as a byproduct, my Body, Mind, Soul TV and Media Network was formed. You know, it was just a beautiful project to synthesize everybody's work and to lift everyone up.
I love that, because each of those authors got all that visibility. They're now all number one international best-selling authors, and they can build from that and do all different kinds of things. And those that were already published authors now get to add this to their resume, so to speak, and get to continue to bring their message forward and keep it top of mind. And then it shares out into everybody's respective during those campaigns, and the sharing respective spheres of influence. So your reach expands, and that's with one chapter. So I love anthologies, because I feel like, wow, all of that happens, and you didn't necessarily have to write 20 chapters. You wrote one chapter. And then you can do another chapter, step by step. You can bring your full book forward for those of you called to bring a full book forward. For those of you who are like, wow, I didn't know I could have that impact. One chapter at a time, and I could be part of something like what Aeriol has created. And so I want all of you out there to know and hear that you can, and those types of opportunities are out there, and that might be something that feels really good, and I can bring that chapter forward now and keep working on other things that I'm working on as well. So I think it's just a really, really nice opportunity for people. And I know that you have several, because you are a creator, you have several things and projects that you are working on and creating. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to share about those. And then the best way that people can reach out and connect with you so they can go deeper on one of those projects, or they just want more Aeriol after hearing you share. So would you mind sharing some of your current and upcoming projects?
Yeah. I'm super excited. I'm just in the preliminary stages of constructing the next project, and I've got several authors on board. I'm still working on getting a cover that I'm as much in love with as my last cover. It's almost there, I'm happy to say. My next title that I'm kind of playing around bringing forward is Awakened Leaders, Stories of Self-Healing, Triumph, and Transformation. And my concept is that these powerful leaders, co-authors, would share their own stories of self-healing, triumph, and transformation in order to inspire others, lead by example. And this book is going to feature those tales, those inspired turnarounds, what they've done to overcome diversity, et cetera, et cetera. In my last book, I had a lot of published authors, and what I loved about the project is that the chapters led into their other book projects and everything. So there was lots of really great ways that my authors leveraged the book as a marketing piece in their business. Super exciting stuff. So we're just in the preliminary stages of that next project, and we're collecting awakened leaders as we speak.
So beautiful and exciting. So you heard it here. Those of you who are a leader and feel in alignment, what an amazing opportunity to get to be part of a project like this. And are there any other projects or clubs or things that you're working on as well, just so everyone's in the loop?
Oh, my goodness, Rebecca. If you go to my website, bodymindsoul.tv, it's like a gumball machine over there. Really, there's all kinds of bells and whistles, all kinds of freebies for you. And we're actually in the process of designing a new site. So we're just getting all of those things up and going. But you can sign up for the Empowered Self-Care Book Club there. We have that coming up pretty soon, right around the corner in June. So that is available for people, and that's at bodymindsoul.tv. And then a / registration will get you right to that book club event that's coming up, where you can go through this Empowered Self-Care book with us and unpack it with us.
So beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that gumball image. You could choose the flavor. What's your favorite kind?
We have lots of stuff. Yeah. Click lots of buttons and get lots of free stuff. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And what is the best way for them to connect in with you, get on your list if they want to stay in the loop? What are the best ways to do that?
Well, going to that bodymindsoul.tv site or my own personal site, AeriolAscher.com. Very easy to find me. You can send me a message from there, email me there, et cetera, et cetera.
Beautiful. I like that. It's easy to find, which is great.
I am easy to find, yes.
So good. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I appreciate it. I appreciate all that you shared, your reading, your passion for helping raise the consciousness of the planet, and all that you're doing to do that and to lift others up on that same mission and journey. So thank you very much for spending time with us today. We so appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure, Rebecca.
Listeners, I want to thank you as well for joining us today. I hope you got some great insights and ideas and things that you can do and use to bring your message forward. And perhaps a chapter being part of an anthology project could be a great fit. So I'm just glad to bring that into the conversation and give it to you as another way that you can bring your message forward a chapter at a time and have that powerful impact that you're looking to have. I actually personally participate in several anthologies a year myself and do contribute chapters to them. And even though we have a publishing company and we do books and we help people bring them forward, I find it so valuable to do that and to be able to continue to reach more people. So definitely something I'm a big believer in. And when you have an opportunity like what Aeriol is presenting, that they have experience, they've brought it forward, it's been really powerfully successful, and they have a heart to help you do the same, it's just an amazing opportunity. So when you're out there considering, look for options like that and really look at the different types of leaders, they're called compilers, to make sure there's an alignment in mission and vision, and that they're going to give you that care and support to help you shine and reach all that you're called to reach. I want to encourage you to take a couple moments at the end of the show and just reflect on what has been shared, what's been supportive of you, and write down a couple nuggets that you're going to take with you, because your message matters. It is absolutely needed. And I want to encourage you to take some steps, practical, I like that, from the inside out, so practical and profound, to help you take a step forward, to bring it forward so that it can reach and touch the lives that it's called to touch. Have an amazing week, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall-Gruyter for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.